Not slow, not slow. And we're getting going to different clothes. Not slow, we're riding low. We're getting going to different clothes. I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid. Bitch, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid, I'm paranoid. Bitch, I'm paranoid.
Testicles, 1, 2, testicles.
Mic check, we back. What's going on, everybody?
Welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast. You already know what's up. This is the best show with the best fucking content for the best fucking listeners. And joining me in the 1 to 2 is the best co-host on the fucking planet, fresh off the fucking job site. Big Tech, salute my boy.
Salute. Lord Vader's in the house. What's happening, people?
We call him Vader
Oh, yeah,
because he leaves the girls on the motherfucking chokehold. That is right. I am your humble host, Trebles, Garcia, and this is the fucking bestest show with amazing fucking content every fucking week, bringing you the hottest fucking topics with the hottest fucking guests. That is right. And this fucking episode, it's pre-recorded with an amazing fucking guest, the first fucking guest, female guest of 2022. That is right. But right before we jump into anything, then I went Jamaican again, bro. Damn. Oh my God. Turn on the blood clot fucking randomizer machine and give me the listener of the week.
Randomizer machine, do your thing.
Listen to that baby purr. That is right. Big Tank, who do we have?
Nico Alencar. If I butchered it, I'm really sorry. But Nico Alencar, that's who we have today.
Nico Alencar from Instagram. Thank you so much for fucking joining us, following the fucking movement, and joining the Probe Nation. This episode goes out to you, and we really hope you enjoy it. That is right. It's a bird. It's a plane. Nope. It's Paranoid Radio. Big time. Give me the fucking best segment in the fucking planet. What is happening?
What is happening, my peeps? You guys already know the deal. This is your boy Big Tank, and I'm gonna give you guys 2 stories, and I want you guys 2 cents from my 2 cents, and we depositing that bitch into the bank of knowledge, just like that, my people.
The bank of knowledge. Finally, you brought it back.
Believe that. Yes. So let's actually dive right in real deep, my people. Okay, so how often does it happen to you that you're running late, but you still have to go either put gas or you still have to get a coffee or whatever it is, or anything that'll slow you down before you actually head off?
Every day. I wake up late every fucking day. Take my oldest daughter to school, stop by Mickey D's, turn on the freaking coupon code, pump gas. Yeah, every fucking day.
So, my people, they actually did a small study. Now, when I say by a small study, it's actually a really small study. They actually did it not even in the U.S. They did it out of Canada.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is Canadian facts. So they estimate that it'll take you roughly about an hour before you actually even have to get ready for work, because you have to do so much stuff unless you get there late. Obviously, if you're used to getting there late, I mean, well, fuck it, that's all you got me?
That's right. I do things in 15 minutes. I get here. Yeah, I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
Me personally, I have my coffee done at the house, get everything ready. By the time I already know I have to do this.
You're a slow pumper. Okay.
Hell no. I'd rather just be ready to go and head out. I don't like to do those trips, even for trips. I mean, I'd rather just have everything in the house or make one stop and then keep it going. Because I know people that love to stop every fucking 20 minutes to sightsee. Oh, fuck that. Get the fuck out.
That's right. What you got next?
On to the next one. People, how fucked up do you think your education is through public school systems?
Gonna laugh now or later?
Well, whenever you want, bro.
Oh, man. What you got, dude? What happened?
So they actually did a study. The education system is falling apart.
Wow.
There used to be, and I quote this, a third-party researcher did this. Education system was better only 10 years back. By 25%, it was better.
Okay, so it's diminishing.
It's diminishing. There is a lot of people actually moving into alternative schooling, whether it be homeschool, whether it be private school, whatever it's, but the public education system is failing. Remember that slogan, no kid left behind? Kids are being left behind, my people.
What were the years the statistics? How many years did it take to drop 25%?
Within a 10-year lifespan.
Okay, so now that happened,
10 years,
COVID happened.
10 years back, let's not even say COVID, because this is within 10 years.
Yeah, well, like, what's gonna happen in 10 years from now? Like,
exactly. Okay, so you have to remember. Okay. Me in how do you call it? Starting from what I can remember, for the most part in kinder, you had to learn how to count to 30, say the colors, and well, basically be able to write whatever it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they're doing the statistic where they're pushing more on you. You already have to learn how to add and subtract within kinder.
Geometry and calculus by freaking 5th grade. That is right.
My people, are they pushing? Okay, I get it. More events are happening, so they have to keep on cramming it more into more minds. That's why a lot of older people have really good paying jobs, but when a new person tries to get it, they need a college degree, they need this, they need that, but the other people already grandfathered in without having any of that.
That also is happening. Yeah, that's part of society as well. That's right. Completely true.
So, I mean, shit, something needs to change. Either it be we or the education system that takes away the money. Because remember, it's a government-funded program. Where does the government get everything? From the taxes, so from us. So if you feel that you're not getting anything, please speak up. If you see your kid struggling in school, not doing anything about it, you need to speak up.
That is right. That is right. Make sure you fucking join the movement. Hashtag look it up.
Hashtag look it up. Well, my people, this is what is happening. I gave you guys these 2 stories. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you didn't, I don't give a flying rat's ass. But till the next time, I enjoy the show.
Big Tank, thank you so much for those 2 amazing fucking stories. As always, you're doing an amazing fucking job. Now, Big Tank, please allow me to set the mood and jump from the deep end of the fucking pool. As you may already know, here at Paranormal Radio Podcast, we don't only have an amazing fucking episodes every fucking week, but we also have amazing fucking guests. With that said, please open up your hearts to the first guest of 2022, and hopefully not the last. She has been a listener of the year on our previous episode, and today she comes before us as a high priestess, a poet, producer, performer, and director, and all-around conspiracy smoke show. Filled with esoteric wisdom and rising her power in her own podcast called The Goddess is Rising. Rise your vibrations and give a warm welcome to SLC84.
Wow, what an intro. That was
you.
epic. Oh my God.
I was actually practicing the whole time on the way from work, and yeah, so
oh my God, no.
I'm glad I didn't stutter.
I need a transcript of that. I'm gonna have that like put up in my house somewhere. I loved it.
Thank you, and I want to thank you so much for spending the time, not only for listening, but becoming like a follower or part of the Probe Nation and joining us on this amazing fucking episode. It's funny how we met. It's funny how you reached out. That same day that you reached out to us, we made you the listener of the week. And then I had just told Tank, hey, you know, like, she looks interesting. She's a poet. She's very well spoken, a soothing voice. We got to get her on. And
wow. Yeah. Well, it's a massive honor because the way it happened for me too has been very synchronistic and quite magical, and what a way to start the year. Like,
awesome.
And the first guest of 2022, that's like, wow,
that's big for us.
Good year.
It's going to be an amazing freaking year. I want to thank you so much again. And I want you to give a little bit about yourself to the audience for the people that do not know you. What is it that you do? Talk to me a little bit about your podcast. How did it start? When did you wake up? And I also know you're a singer. So share about.
Oh, wow. I think, yeah. Like maybe artists, you know, I think we're all artists deep down and we just find our roots to it, you know? So, well, essentially, I began waking up, I suppose, like maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. Prior to that, I had a very, very different life. I did the things that not all the things. I did some things you weren't supposed to do, but all the things that society says, you know. So I got married, I had babies, I had a job that was, you know, not as important as my husband's job. And I just played this kind of like Stepford Wives type role, which was at the time what I thought I wanted, and I had a very happy experience, and you know there was no massive regrets or anything. But I guess what really happened was I was suffering from depression.
Mhm.
It had been, you know, around for a long time, probably since childhood, if I'm honest, but then with additional like adult experiences and traumas and things that I hadn't really processed. And I'd gone to
Mhm.
the doctor and I'd been like, you know, like I'm madly suicidal. And I know I'm madly suicidal because I get funny when I'm like depressed, you know.
Uh-huh. It's a
You
coping
know, we've
mechanism.
spoken before about you using, you know, your humor to kind of balance it out. And
Yes. Hmm.
so I'd been, you know, at the doctor's basically saying like, help me, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And he'd prescribed me another set of antidepressants to try.
Mhm.
And I'd gone back a couple of months after that and said to him, like, I'm still looking at things like, you know, in a pretty dark, negative way. I'm just really, I don't know how to cope with this.
I believe
And
sometimes, I know a lot of, I'm sorry I interrupt you, but like
that's
sometimes I
okay.
believe that maybe like depression is you just need maybe something ground. I was speaking with a friend, she's a Reiki healer.
Right.
And she mentioned to me many different ways, alternatives
Yeah.
that you could heal and fix yourself basically without having
Right.
to take any drugs or make yourself addicted
Oh,
to anything else.
100%. It's part of
Mhm.
the process here. You know, the
Mhm.
healing and growing is in nature. It's in nature to do that. And we are just emulating that, you know. So
Mhm.
I actually think it's a huge part of the experience. We're supposed to feel the feels. Like we're
Mhm.
supposed to feel the feels. It's easier for a woman because, you know, society has said women can be, you know, feely.
Mhm.
And for me, on a personal level,
Mhm.
I'd like to encourage the guys. I want to reach into that kind of that core and get to that like emotional place and
Mhm.
bring it forward and let us work with it and let us like be
Get in touch with our
compassionate with each other
feminine
and
side,
connect. Yeah, get in touch with the feminine side.
with our
Exactly.
Venus on fire.
That's right. Exactly that. Oh
Talk
my
to
god.
me a little bit about your podcast and how did that start?
Well, yeah, essentially I was like, I've been making YouTube videos for ages and ages. I don't think the algorithm is a fan of me. I'm not consistent with it. Like I said, I don't want to be a slave to the algorithms and the robots. And I watch so many creators who like share their stress, you know, they have
Mhm.
to abbreviate things so that they don't get demonetized for,
Mhm.
you know
Watch
what I
out
mean,
with
for just talking the
keywords.
talk. Right. And that's not me. That's not the way that I do things. So I get disheartened with that sort of stuff. I spent a decade trying to pop on YouTube, and no matter what I did, it just wasn't happening. And I just thought, you know what, it's way more relaxed for me if I just treat it as something that I just love to do, which is just talk the talk. I like to, you know, chew the cud and process this, like the new things that I've discovered, you know.
Mhm.
I just want to share that stuff, and I feel like a podcast was the perfect way of doing that. Plus I don't have to look the part. I can just roll out of bed and just be like, ta-da, here I
Like
am.
today, like this morning, just FYI
Like
to all the
today.
listeners, it's 11 p.m. my time, Monday night. Tuesday morning for her, it's 7
Yes,
a.m. for her. She's drinking
in the
tea
future.
and everything. SLC84, aka Steph, I want to thank you again, and I want to jump into the nitty gritty with you on the main conversation.
Yes.
We're gonna be speaking about media control, social experiments, and you mentioned on the chat we had before regarding a document. I mean, sorry, a a movie. What was it? A documentary that made you change your mind, right?
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right. So you know, my suburban lifestyle was not fulfilling for me, and I was really depressed. A friend of mine said, you know what, all you need is like to smoke a couple of joints of an evening. That's
Mm-hmm.
probably what you need to calm
Mm-hmm.
down. And suggested this to me, and this is, you know, still not legal in the UK. And when I started to do that, I started to question, why is this not legal? I feel so much better. I feel calmer. I feel relaxed. I don't understand it. You know. And at the same time, the same friend suggested that I watch this documentary, and it's a documentary. It's called Zeitgeist. It's a
Mm-hmm.
big one. It's 3 parts. I'm sure it's available somewhere online. I
Hashtag
had
look it
to
up.
watch it
We're gonna
twice.
look into it definitely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. I mean, it will show you all the different areas, the all the areas of corruption, the false flag, like
Does it is it covering only the UK or in combination worldwide with the
no.
elites?
I think the thing is, it has to be a global thing, because, and it has to include the States, because the UK and the States, we're kind of like cousins, or the governments, they're operating as cousins, and they're in the same cartel. It's
Big
the same. It's the
influences.
same.
Yeah.
Same big
Hmm.
happy club.
Hmm.
You guys have your what do they call them? Ivy League schools.
Hmm. Yep.
And we have like the likes of Eton and Cambridge.
Not to mention all the secret societies that come out of those places,
Right.
and the things they do after once they're in power, because they all help each other out. And
Yeah.
media control, at least here in the United States, I mean, I can't speak for the UK, but what I do know is mainstream media here, it's meant and specifically targeting people that know are sensitive or emotional towards different subjects. For example, our Republicans and Democrats and our elected representatives, they know
Right.
exactly how to keep us divided. And that
Yes.
is the main focus on that point. The perfect example would be, I've seen a video where that manifested, and I seen that two babies. You see two, three babies, and one of them's
Right.
black, the other one's
Yeah.
white, and you see another one that's Asian, and they're all playing, sharing the cubes, and they're playing with each other. And
Yeah.
you don't see religious warfare. You don't see them talking smack about each other because of the color of their skin or the
Yeah.
language they speak. They are playing in
Yeah.
harmony.
Because they only see similarities. We've been
Exactly.
trained to see those differences.
Mhm.
We've been
Absolutely.
we like, whether we want to admit it or not, we've been brainwashed since the dawning of time, since the day we were born, and and then before that, our parents, and
do you believe that a lot of the people that are behind the scenes and puppet masters, you would call them, do you think they work? Do you believe that they work in an specific ways using numbers and religious beliefs?
Yes.
For example, gematria, I don't know.
Symbology. Right. Symbology, numerology. So I would say it's ancient wisdom belonging to humanity and the gods, and we know this. We're familiar with this. In my humble opinion, but this is how it resonates with me, is that we have this knowledge, and we understand certain things, and using symbols, artistry, numbers, especially because numbers is a big thing. Like everything is mathematics, everything in nature,
everything. Golden
right?
ratio,
And
freaking Tesla. The Jews have it perfectly written down in their Bible. I forgot the name of their book. On their scripture, it is
the Torah,
Torah, I believe. Yeah,
Torah, yeah.
it is ancient and very spiritual.
Yes. And we're out of touch with it because that knowledge has been hidden from us. It sounds crazy to other people, I suppose. Like the first time you wake up to this stuff, you're like, what? You people are nuts. You need to calm down. It's not as bad as that. But that's the truth, is that they know this stuff. All the corporations, all the businesses that operate these secret societies, especially, they're utilizing the wisdom that we no longer have access to. And that includes the most simple stuff, like how to filter our water, how do we use nature to naturally filter water? We can't, because
I am so happy you brought that. I'm so happy you brought that in. I don't know if you know, but in California, it's illegal to collect rainwater. Don't ask me why. I don't know if it's the freaking smog. I don't know why the fuck they keep it from us, but it's illegal. Hashtag look it up, people. Illegal to collect rainwater in California. Why?
Yeah.
And
they make it hard for you because they know that we actually don't need a system to operate like this. We actually don't. Everything that we need is provided by nature and ourselves. When we come together and we help each other and we look after each other, which I think we do instinctively. Like I've been around a bit and seen enough. I've seen a lot of the darkness as well, and I know that exists in us, but I've seen so much love and so much compassion. And I think our instincts, we wince for each other's pain. We can't watch TV and see someone get hurt without being like, oh, because you see it.
Well, check this out. Even through that, see, you're touching perfect points. Even through that, okay. For example, here in the United States, did you know that? Okay, like I'm a lead with this. The biggest purchasing power comes from women, and the people that get targeted the most on national television, on any freaking series, is women. Now, I'm not talking crap about women. No, I'm saying women run the world, because the largest purchasing of economic power comes from what the woman watches and then desires to purchase.
Mhm.
You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It comes from the woman.
Right.
The
I'm with you. I'm with you
70%
100%. The
is
violence
Mhm.
and the aggression and all the things that we're becoming desensitized to,
Yeah.
that worries me. That scares me. I mean, this is why I do not watch mainstream TV. I have not watched it for years, and I will never. You know, over here, the BBC are our big players, and they're also the big players in terms of like the rings. They operate with that secret society ritualistic
Oh, definitely top 5 here in the
dark
US also.
worshipping
Hmm.
stuff, right? So, and the
Absolutely.
BBC are at the heart of it, and in the UK, the BBC have their own tax law, and it's a law. So this is how
Wait,
you
wait,
know
wait,
they're
wait.
in
Oh,
cahoots.
okay. Oh, we're going in deep. Okay, in the UK, BBC has their own tax law, as in
Uh-huh.
they pay less taxes than anybody else.
Not really, not like in that sense, but in the
Okay.
sense that you have to have a license to watch their programming. Get this, it's brainwashing programming, and you dear, victim, you're the one that has to fund this, so you have to pay this license. And they threaten you. They used to, like back in the 80s and 90s, they used to threaten us with pictures of these like souped up cars with like crazy satellites and stuff on them, just driving our streets hunting for people with no licenses, and they'd be like, we can tell you don't have a TV license. And
Babe, no, wait
it's
up. Okay,
very threatening.
wait. What the fuck? Wait, in the
I
UK, you
know.
have to pay to watch a
You have to
program?
pay you have to pay the pedophiles to listen to the lies and the propaganda.
Are you
And
fucking
become
shitting
a
me?
sex.
This is 10 times worse. Okay.
It's
No, go
horrendous.
back.
It's
Go back.
horrendous.
Wait, look here. Okay. Okay, here we have so many different channels, right? And we
Yeah.
don't have to pay to watch TV. I guess we have to pay in the form. Okay, I get you now. We have to pay Wi-Fi, or we have to pay like cable TV to watch
Right.
different channels and
Right,
different
but this
programming.
is in addition to that. So you have to pay your TV provider, and get your TV itself and all the rest of
That's
it. This is
insanity.
right, and they don't own all the what they call terrestrial channels. They only own their channels. So they own. When I was a kid, it would be BBC One, BBC Two.
This is hot topic right here. I love this stuff. I didn't
Right,
know. Wow.
and I didn't even know this, but also they don't have advertising. So in between their shows, I mean, I'm talking like I've watched TV recently, but as I said, from watching Zeitgeist 6, 7, 8 years ago, I'm not even sure now at this point. I just don't watch stuff at all, so I don't, but yeah, this is what the BBC do. And then they threaten you even when so you're expected to make a declaration if you don't want to watch their TV, if you don't want to watch BBC,
And then you're marked.
you
They
have to
know that
make a
you're not listening.
declaration, right?
Mhm.
So you have to basically like stand up and say, I promise, I don't watch your TV shows. And then they're like, well, we have the technology to find out. So when you do, if you do, blah, blah, blah. They
And they
don't
do.
have any
And they
such
fucking do.
technology.
Yes, they do. Well,
They,
I don't know. I think the TVs are chipped.
oh
Smart
yeah, no,
TVs and
well
all
they
this.
do, but the department itself, they don't have a department for it. This is just a fear mongering thing. I mean,
wow.
yeah, they know what we're watching and what we're saying and what we're doing, and the rest of that, I agree with you on that one, chips. And I try not to think too tough about it, because
It's fucking
it
crazy.
freaks you out, right?
Being censored and monetized, and I mean,
All the time.
here in the United States and in Canada, I have a real close friend. He is part of the Red Pill Heavy Haters crew. Morphix from Breaking the Matrix. Thank you so much again. This shout out to you. This dude is amazing. He a mogul. Sorry, and
Right.
he used to stay in Canada, and very close friend. Canada went to shit, and all this vaccine and mandates and everything. They're pretty tough on their stuff. Another Australia. And
Yeah.
here in the US, I guess they're sympathizing the social credit score that China's putting out or already has in place. And it starts. I don't know. Look. I see the Chinese, and I don't have anything against the Chinese. I work with a lot of Chinese people. I love Taiwanese, Chinese, Hong Kong people. Asians, I love them. But it's just like they feel so confident that their government's going to protect them at every cost. I'm not sure. I don't live there, but social credit scores, at least here in the States, that'll it'll blow our liberty away.
By what game? Like, we're just playing some other dude's game of Monopoly. Like, what? Why? And I don't know. I don't think that it's going to come. I mean, I hope that it's not going to get that far, but who even knows at this point? Because the masses are leading us towards slaughter with unknowingly with their nappies on their
Yeah.
faces.
It only helps them. It only helps them to keep the rich and the poor. At least I hear in
Absolutely.
at least here in the States, I know for a fact that statistically the people, check this out, at least in California, and I'm gonna mention COVID, and I don't give a fuck if people don't think I'm right or not, because you could look this shit up. And I'm not saying you are in the UK, but here, at least the people here, the listeners here in the US,
Mm-hmm.
they statistically, the people that in Los Angeles, the people that got sick the most were Latinos and blacks. And
Right.
they want to say, oh, because they're out in the store, they're drinking malt liquor, they're smoking cigarettes, and they
Yeah.
don't care about their mask and everything, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And
And
it,
so they use that. They use that. I'm sorry, but whose are these statistics? I mean, are we talking the WHO? Like, I
yeah,
mean, who are
CDC,
the WHO?
yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? We need to
yeah,
really look at this, because when the statistics match the agenda that they already had in place, which was divide and conquer and ensure
absolutely,
that, fractions of people would be weak. Over here, it's the old people that they're killing off first. They get rid of the
yeah.
old people and the
Italy
poor
had
people.
I know they have like the largest amount of elders,
Yeah.
at least in the third generation, and they took a hit.
And do you
The-
know how healthy those people are? They have, they have sunshine. Like, in general, they have
uh-huh.
sunshine. They have good diets. They live off the land. A lot of them, most of them live, like, usually, this is just nuts.
Yeah,
Imagine I mean, I can't even imagine an illness that you can have and not know you've got, and that can be so threatening and damaging. Like, I just can't. All I see is that they pass the buck onto the average man and woman on the street, and they give you this. They're brainwashing people to think that it's their responsibility, and now they've got to be responsible for the lives and the well-being and the health of the herd.
yeah.
That's not how it works.
And even if you have like I want to add on to that.
Mhm.
I go to work here in California. I'm at work, and I want to
Right.
say 95% of people are vaccinated. And I just had COVID my third time right now, and they
Right.
came and they told me, hey, like, you need to get vaccinated. Why don't you get vaccinated? You probably wouldn't get that sick. And this and I'm like, look, regardless if I got sick or not,
Mm.
you can still get it, and you can
Mhm.
give it to me. So it's not just
Mhm.
me. Like, you want to feel secure about you not catching it, but you could catch it from anyone at
Yeah.
any given moment, regardless of the
Yeah.
vaccination status. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's fear
Yeah.
mongering.
There's
It's
too there's
definitely.
way too many discrepancies, way too many lies, and such a lot of silencing of doctors and people who otherwise would garner quite a lot of credibility. Do you know what I mean? Like, people who
Mm,
have studied at some of these extremely elitist schools even, and they're out there and they're trying to speak and they're getting shut down. And there's a woman that I follow who used to be a BBC journalist, and
mm,
she's really trying here in the UK. She attends all the protests. I get a lot of my news from her, but
mhm,
I don't know if I mean, I'm finding that because mainstream media is just constantly full of lies and agenda,
uh-huh.
it's very hard to find the truth of what's going on in different countries. So I'm like seeing things on Instagram about Canada and trucks and some convoy, and I'm reading, like, standing together in non-compliance, because that's a hashtag that I follow, which is,
Uh-huh.
and I reckon it was definitely the hashtag and algorithm gods that led me to you guys, and I was so excited because I just love when we get to express this and we get to actually have these conversations and
Mhm.
start to, like, think differently and see it in a different way. We
And
learn
wake
so
up the
much from each
fucking
other.
lions.
Right.
you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
on a different tone. I want to
Okay.
know a little bit about your esoteric history. What does SLC84 stand for? And what is a green witch? Like,
Okay.
educate me. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Well, the first one is disappointing because it's just literally my initials and the year that I was born.
That's the
So
hey, don't you gotta pat yourself on the back again and applaud
yeah.
yourself because that's your name. Own it.
That's right. And I came up with it when I was like 12, and it stuck with me. So,
It's mysterious, it's catchy, and I'm like, what does it stand for? Like, I know Steph is Steph, right? It's a pretty name
Yeah.
and everything, but that's how I see. Like, is that a clan? Is it a cult? What's going on here?
No. But that the high priestess came about after, I think, I've always been quite spiritual. I've always been like a little into things that, you know, seem esoteric and seem a little mysterious. So yeah, like, and as I got older, I started to like really start to see that there was a lot of truth in this, and that even though as a teenager and a young adult, when I was in my sort of suburban lifestyle and my life was very different, it wasn't in my forefront to like to work with these sort of energies, but learning what I did about the fuckery on the planet,
Mm-hmm.
I had to balance that out, and I found that my awakening to this nonsense and chaos was occurring at the exact same time as this awakening to realizing that, you know, there was some truth in the things that the hippies used to say. You know, there's a lot of truth in the things that different religions and different and I'm not a religious person. I don't enjoy organized religion as an entity at all.
Same here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not my bag. But the faith in something bigger than us, in something more than that which we see, you know, that has always been there in me. I've always kind of had that, not in a like God way, but in a there's more. I can feel
there's
the
more that
spirit.
meets
I
the
can
eye.
see, yeah, I can hear sometimes communications. I get it in my dreams. When I was younger, I could see like energy, colors, auras from, you know, plants and animals, and sometimes humans too. But plants and animals is where I'm at, and that's why I resonate with the green witch thing, because this is what I'm called to do, is to work with herbs and herbs as medicine, plants and herbs and spirits. You know, this is how I feel, where I feel like I slot in. But moreover, it was like it was just this feeling of the spirits of plants enticing me to find out more about them. And you know, like, I know this sounds a little cuckoo, but it's just just roll with me on this.
This is the Cuckoo Show. We are here for that. That is our stuff. And we just got off a topic last week. We did limpias
That's
amarras,
right,
and
I remember.
Yeah, it was a very interesting topic, and we got really good feedback on it. Hashtag look it up. People go check out the most recent episode on Paranoid Radio. So the point is, she comes and she used to talk to me about these things. I've seen manifestations of a dwarf. I've seen a dwarf, not a dwarf, an elf before. I've seen it. I've seen it with my eyes, and I was not fucking
personally
high. Yeah, personally.
Right.
And it pushed me to drop an episode. I've seen that when I was a teenager, and now it pushed me to drop an episode called Alf, also for December. So there's things in my life that I could relate to what you're talking about right now. And I'm not a sorcerer myself. I'm not a witch or anything, but I've always been in tune with that. And I listened to one of your episodes, your most recent episode, which is amazing, by the way. People go make sure you check out her podcast.
Thank you.
The last 15 minutes of it, you mentioned you read the tarot cards, and that caught my fucking attention. I was like, hey, dude, you know, and you read it, and I didn't know for a fact. I don't even know who the hell you were, and I didn't even know that you had a podcast. No idea until you shared it with me, which was really humble, because, you know, we have been talking and you didn't mention it at all. There's a lot of people that are power hungry or attention hungry, and you would have been like, hey, you know, hey, we do this, check us out. But you didn't do that, and I appreciate that. So right away, I had to give you my attention. I seen that, and it really resonated with me. The way you read it, I felt like if you were speaking directly to me, without talking to me or knowing me, you know, in an energetic level. And that was fucking dope. That was spiritual. I felt like chills on my spine. Now, if it's not too much to ask, after you already gave me a full-on conversation and you serenaded us with your presence, would you do us the honor of maybe pulling out a card and giving us some of that energy
I
to
would
the listeners?
love to. It's so funny because I've got my cards here.
I know, I felt it.
It's so synchronized, because usually they stay on my desk in my studio, and because, as you mentioned, it's super early here in the UK and super cold, January. I'm you know, cotched in my bed at the moment, so I've got my cards right next to me, so I can definitely do that for you. But,
if you have a message, or you feel something that you want to put out and share with the world, with the listeners that we have, feel free to do it. And this is your platform.
Okay. Well, I think first of all, I should mention that I don't know that I'm an expert tarot reader. But
Mhm.
I do know that I am a vessel in a sense for spirit to kind of communicate. And so like when energy kind of, you know, when you're pulling a card, you're basically just drawn to a certain energy. And I always ask for the energy of the collective, because I really believe that we work way more like coral in the ocean. You know, we're so much more connected across the world as humans than we know.
Mhm.
Okay, so we've pulled a card, the Star card, which is an Aquarian card. So we're in the dawning of the age of Aquarius at the moment. This is what they say.
Mhm.
This means that we're moving into a new energy field, and Aquarian's all about revolutionary, evolutionary energy, and seeing things with a brand new, like fresh set of eyes, and manifesting. You know, we need to be able to imagine a better world, because that's how we're going to manifest it, is when we can visualize together. That's how we're going to, you know. But I'll
Mhm.
just give you the keywords, right? So keywords for the Star are inspiration, ideal love, truth revealed, realization of a dream, insight and self-belief, seeing the light, finding peace within, and feeling generous.
Wow.
So that's pretty good. I think that's a good reminder of we keep the energy flowing. We try to like step out of the way, keep it moving, keep gifting people, keep that generosity, keep that kindness. Because when we operate from kindness, you know, they can't touch us. We stay
Absolutely.
healthier, we stay stronger. You know, we're connected, we're in tune.
And we're
So
in peace.
we're at peace, right?
Mhm.
You can't mess with that. We're in a different frequency once
That
we
is
can
right.
ascend,
Can't fuck with
you
us. That's
know.
right. You let them know. All right.
So that's it. Yeah, more power to the people.
I love it. I want to fucking thank you again for the fifth fucking time.
Oh,
I
I'm so
know
excited. It was so worth getting out of bed early for.
this is amazing. I don't want to take more of your time, but I do want to give you the opportunity to share all your plugs, your social medias, and your
Okay.
YouTube and your podcast for all the listeners. And hopefully they take a look and they join your movement.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so you can find me at SLC84 over on Instagram. Do be prepared for a little anarchy, because apparently that's who I am. I keep getting into
Mhm.
trouble for it. And on YouTube, the same actually, SLC84. My podcast, as you mentioned, is entitled "The Goddess is Rising," but it's not just for females. You know, it's for all listeners. Um, and yeah, that's me. I mean, I'm a poet with Soul Food Poetry, which is a big collective here in the UK.
I enjoyed it.
Number one.
It's all over your Instagram. I enjoyed it for sure.
Right. And the poetry and spoken word is such a huge thing, because again, it's another way of us using our voices. Excuse me, sharing, using our voices. That was right on cue, and sharing our stories, right, and gaining perspective, so that we can actually overcome this the brainwashing, and get to know people for who they are and what they are by listening to their stories, you know.
Yes.
And stop believing what other people are telling you about things, and find out for yourself, you know. So that's what the poetry is all about, and that's soul food poetry in the UK. So yeah, it's been so cool to speak with you this morning. I'm just like, so it's like the highlight of the week.
Manifest Greatness. And make sure you check her out. SLC84, SLC84. And her podcast is called The Goddess is Rising. I found it on Spotify. For some reason, it wasn't on Apple Podcasts, but people, it's on Spotify, absolutely free. Go check it out. 30 minutes in and out. It's very enlightening, very soothing. Go check it out. Make sure you
Thank you very
hit her
much.
up. I want to thank you again for joining us. We're going to tag you, and I want you to
Yes.
manifest greatness for the entire fucking week, and then we'll catch up again later. Big time. Please let them know where they can find you.
Catch me at EKNAT626. EKNAT626, my people. Let me know. Slide in the DMs if you guys want to know what's going on. If you guys want to hop on, if you guys want to reach out to us, don't forget, we're reachable by email, paranoidradio.com. We are on Instagram at Paranoid Radio, and you could also reach us through our site at paranoidradio.com. Let us know if you disagree with us. Hey, I encourage it. I am Professor STD. Don't you guys forget about it.
And
And
STD means shit talking degree.
believe that, believe
Professor
that.
STD. That sounds fucking disgusting, dude. And you can find me at TREBLES, Trebles Garcia on all social media platforms. That is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Make sure you check us out at paranoidradio.com, paranoidradio.com. And if you have a fucking iPhone, drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. I also figured out you could drop 5-star reviews on Spotify now. So make sure you fucking look it up and drop 5-star review wherever the hell you're getting your fucking podcast from. Again, everybody, thank you for fucking joining us, and we hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a great one. Boom. Blow your fucking mind.